I want to give you guys my review of this patch and also kind of break down what I'm seeing in the comments and I'm seeing from the community, etc. This patch was probably the best received patch I've seen anywhere, mostly because people are getting significant combat rating jumps. I'm seeing plenty of the comments saying, hey, I was stuck in combat rating. I felt like I wasn't getting any drops or I wasn't getting any combat rating. Now I got a big leap ahead, etc. So effectively what everyone is feeling is there's new hell difficulties to do. There's the rework of the demonic remains. There's all these different things. There's the new blacksmith upgrades for the people that have grinded all the way to the top, etc. And now they feel like they're actually making some progress. Also, the Warband raids now drop like pretty significant amount of legendaries. I talked about this in the previous video. So it feels like when you're doing these twice a week, there's these big bursts of moment where you're actually getting some drops. I do believe that it feels this way, one, because we have the new hell difficulties, two, because we have the demonic remains, and that these combat rating boosts will dry up after a bit, and then people are going to start being like, oh, the game's a grind again. But for right now, the new update is actually being very well received. It seems like it's pretty overwhelming support. There is a pretty unanimous, I would say, pushback on a couple points, which is that first and foremost, in my opinion, this is the most annoying point for me too. The Phantom Market with the new Sacred Wild skin is ridiculous in terms of price point. It's basically $120 if you don't hit the 0.14% chance in order to get the Sacred Wild skin, in order to max it out, and I think that's personally ridiculous. I also think that cosmetics still, at this point in the game, 6 months later, should be cross-class, and we shouldn't be having to pay for these very expensive variants of skins in order to get them cross-class cosmetics. Other than that, people are still asking for a remove helmet option, and the point of like, why do you have facial customization if you literally have a helmet that you can't remove anyway, is a pretty well taken point. All of these things aside, these are all kind of minor complaints, etc. This definitely, in my opinion, other than the class update, has been the largest update in the game. I mean, we got new story, we got a new zone. I will say the new zone, I went and tested the new zone. The new zone experience is the same in terms of the actual minions. They are 541 experience each for the standard minion and 841, etc. for the lower variants, which is all exactly in line with places like the Realm of Damnation, etc. So if you're wondering, are the new zone like the new hotspot to farm? I mean, there is a couple pretty good farming spots there, but nothing that's going to be factually, mathematically, way quicker than all the other places. There's no new dungeon. However, there is changes to the dungeons we have, in which when you do the 3 dungeons, you actually get the guaranteed set drop, which means once a day you're now getting an opportunity to actually get something. These also stack up, so if you miss a day, you can still come back in 3 days total and do 9 dungeons in order to get 3 guaranteed set drops too. So this is kind of rewarding the type of person who likes to log in every few days, this update. You're seeing things in the warbands being way more important, warband raids, that is. So if you log in on, a Monday or something, do it when it resets, then you log in Thursday or something like that, and you do it again. These are huge chunks of combat rating. I mean, at the same time, you can also log in and do your 9 dungeons and just get 3 set pieces. And if you don't like those 3 set pieces, you can crunch them, and then you're over halfway towards creating a piece that you do actually want, and then you have to get the rows, etc., all that. It also makes it a little bit more exciting because now the demonic remains from the Helicore mean that we have 4 more spots, or actually 5 more spots, that legendaries were rolling for, which gives us more opportunities for dopamine from the RNG rolling from those legendary items, etc. So overall, the patch has been very well received from what I can see. The Prodigy Path 2, where we actually get like just free green items in there right off the bat, is pretty well received also. Also, a couple people left the comment telling me that, hey, look, DM, you can salvage your green items and get your materials back. So don't worry about what you're saying, because if you were using the red materials, those cryptic crystals, you can just salvage and get them back. While you can salvage and get them back, it pays you back based upon rank. It does not pay you based upon what you put into it. So these boots, actually, I'll show you right now. Here's me actually leveling these boots up using the red ones. And now if you look right here on the screen, it's not paying me back any of the red ones. Those are factually gone and lost. Now, you're never hard locked where you're actually never able to get red crystals again. You can get them through the leaderboard and you can farm them at a slow rate, etc. But it will put you behind, and it will make your leveling of your set items more difficult if you crunch a bunch of them. Just wanted a quick clarification, because there was a couple people who didn't understand that you don't actually get these back if you salvage them. So other than that issue and the Phantom Market, in my opinion, being a little bit of like gamble greedy bait, I do think this update was actually very well received by the people as well as myself. One thing in particular I want to shout out that was my favorite part of the update was the story. The story voice acting was really good. It was like anime faux movie level. It was actually high quality voice acting. I don't know who they got for it, but it sounded great. I actually listened to the whole thing. Normally I skip through it. I don't think I'm going to skip through any more of these voice actings that they do. They're just all, it's pretty good. It was a little bit of a giggle with, spoiler alert, you know, Esmond dying, and you could see that coming from a mile away. I'm not going to say it was the best written thing in the world, but the people that were acting it out actually did a phenomenal job. And the cutscenes were pretty good. And the whole astral plane and everything that you're in for a little bit is just some of the coolest, honestly, coolest areas. Like, I wanted to see it again. I would go back and just check out the area again if I could. I actually really enjoyed it. So, all in all, it was a fun update. And it was a little bit encouraging to see that, you know, they are actually continuing to put out some fairly major updates 6 months into the game, and it's not just a one-time cash grab and then the game disappears or something, because the way the launch went was pretty rough, and a lot of people were really concerned about that. So all in all, I would give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10 update. I would have liked to see maybe some other balance changes for some of the other classes. Obviously, we all wanted the Blood Knight. I would like to see the remove helmet option, the cross-class cosmetics. I would like to see goblins have green items that drop as well. But these are all like some kind of more minor complaints, and I don't really want to spoil what's otherwise a pretty W of an update. So that's just my take on it. I rather liked it. Let me know what you guys' comments are. I gained, like now at this point, 3 days later, like 1700 combat rating or something during the update. So it feels like progress is happening. But again, I've mentioned that it's going to feel like it's going to dry up later on when we hit those higher difficulties, etc. But now at least we have some difficulties for the next foreseeable future to look forward to. Love you all. See you guys on the next video.